Good morning. My name is Fiona Campbell. I'm a Business Development Manager here at Robert Gordon University. We're doing a wee podcast today on graduate apprenticeships. Today with me, I've got a couple of guys who are currently on the IT Management for Business course. And we're going to just have a quick chat about why they did the course and some of the stuff that they are doing with it, with a hope that you get a better idea of what it's like to come on a graduate apprenticeship at RGU. So first of all, I'll introduce Lee.
So my name is Forsyth. I'm the Senior IT Analyst at Aberdeen Football Club. I've been doing the IT Management for Business degree at Robert Gordon's for 2 years now. I'm just about to start my third year.
Perfect. And Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt Thomson. I work for Gordon McPhail in Elgin. I'm currently the Assistant IT Manager for our IT department, and I've been studying the IT Business for Management course at RGU for a year. I'm just about to go into second year.
Perfect. So I've got the guys on today because graduate apprenticeships, we have still got some fully funded places left for our 2020 cohort. So what we're really keen to do is just have a chat about why they wanted to do it and get some more information from them about what it is to do a graduate apprenticeship. A graduate apprenticeship is a work-based learning degree, so it is not just coming to university and studying. They're actually working full-time in their jobs, and it allows them to put the theory that we give them at RGU straight into practice in the workplace and get some really cracking workplace examples. So the first question I've got for you guys is, what made you consider the graduate apprenticeship over other routes to qualification? So Lee, I'll start with yourself.
So I was actually studying a degree at the Open University, and I saw an advert online for the graduate apprenticeship. And when I looked into how it was set up with the blended learning, and the fact that it was fully funded as well compared to having to pay for the Open University, I felt like it might be a better fit for myself.
Perfect. And Matt?
For me, it's slightly different. I kind of left school with not really knowing what I wanted to do. So 10 years down the line, I'm landed in IT and I've been doing it for 10 years now. So, but I've got no qualifications. So this was a route that I kind of stumbled upon, and the way that it blends the learning with the actual workplace is magic, and it was the best fit for me at the time, instead of going through the Open University or taking time off work to go back to school.
Yeah, and I think these are two really good examples of the kinds of routes that we've got. We've got people who are coming from other routes. We've got people who've never studied before, left school with no qualifications. We've got people who've maybe got part qualifications like HNCs or HNDs that get the opportunity to finish their studies. We've also got people who get recruited in straight from school. So employers get the choice between upskilling their current staff or recruiting somebody specially in for it. So that's fantastic. Thanks, guys. How do you balance the working and the studying? So, like, how much time do you spend doing stuff on uni stuff?
For myself, it's a few hours a week. You've always got your 2-hour lecture that's for my year. It's on a Friday, okay. So I always try to attend that when possible. Obviously, sometimes things come up at work and it might clash with another meeting, so you can't manage, but try and get that done at least, then spend maybe a few hours a week doing the studying and keeping up with the course content. Yeah, that's how I would manage it, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with Lee there. It's definitely keeping up each week a few hours. It's in bite-sized chunks, which is really easy to manage. It's not too much and it's not too little, and it's just really easy to kind of absorb. And yeah, it only takes a few hours a week, I would have said.
For me, it depends on the topic as well. Sometimes it's something that you've already done. It's maybe something that's really relevant to what you do as your work. So for like me, I don't do much software development. So for the software development courses, I found myself spending more time on it. Whereas for the more IT management side of things, I actually do as my job day to day, I'd spend less time on that.
Yeah.
So that changes it as well.
Yeah, good. And how much does your employer help to support with that?
So I would say I actually sit just like a metre away from my mentor, so I'm quite lucky in that if I'm doing stuff to do with uni, he's right there for me to ask, which might get a bit annoying at times, but he's been really supportive. So for me, he's just on hand at any point. Some of the units that you do are maybe not really specific to IT. So for example, I've just finished a a finance module not long ago, and the finance manager for the company actually acted as my mentor for that module instead. So again, it was. I'm really lucky that people throughout my company know that I'm doing the degree, and they're more than willing to help.
Excellent, Matt.
Yeah, again, I would totally agree. My mentor sits like right next to me as well, so she's a really good resource to tap into when I need to. And if there's a topic that I'm doing that we maybe not touch on, like Lee, we don't really do much in software development, but we've got a company that does it for us. So, you know, I could sit down with them, and for like legislative stuff, we got someone in who did GDPR specific things, and just for me to kind of, you know, get as much knowledge as possible for the module that we were learning.
Great. So the guys here have both mentioned their mentors. That's a really important part of the graduate apprenticeship, is having that mentor. So I always call them a bit of a facilitator. That person is there to sort of make sure that whatever activities that RGU need them to be able to do within the workplace, that they're there to support and to facilitate that it can be happening. So things like going into other departments, making sure other people understand, that's exactly the kind of role that we want a mentor to play. How important do you find your mentors for you guys?
Well, I've obviously came from doing the Open University degree where you didn't have such a thing as a mentor, so I know what it's like to not have it and to have one available. So I found it, again, especially useful when it comes to topics that they've maybe got a bit more knowledge in than you. So my mentor actually was a software developer at one stage, so the software development course, I couldn't have landed more lucky with that. So again, I found I tapped into him more for that module than I would have, say, like the finance one. So it just really depends, but yeah, really useful.
Yeah, I think they're a great sounding board to kind of bounce ideas off if you're thinking about like tackling an assessment in a certain way. And for me anyway, my mentor is been in the business for a long time, so she knows absolutely everybody and has that kind of autonomy to ask other people and, you know, enable the routes to different departments for me to, you know, get more knowledge on. So that's very, very beneficial, I think. Yeah,
and really important. And when we're considering who's the best mentor for you guys, those people that have the authority to go and have those conversations and open those doors for you is really, really important. That's great. Fantastic, guys. How does RGU support you? Because obviously you're not on campus very often. Do you want to maybe talk about how much time you spend on campus and things like that as well?
Sure. So you spend a whole day on campus per module. So you get an on-campus day where you meet your class who you go through the whole degree with. It's really good. It's because the degree or the graduate apprenticeship is quite a new concept. It's changed the setup of the days change quite often for us, but they've seemed to like streamline now, and they're quite set in how they're set up. So you spend some time going over course content, assessments, and also giving feedback on the course to help RGU improve it. So that's the on-campus days. Aside from that, you can go to the uni whenever you like. You can go to the library. You've got a student card. You're just a normal student at the end of the day. And also your lecturer for each module is always available to help if you need. You can email them. Especially during the coronavirus pandemic, I was really struggling with one of the assessments. We didn't have the on-campus day because you weren't allowed to. And we set up like an hour Teams call, and she really helped me with all that stuff. I'm not saying that's available all the time, but certainly the help is there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, for me, the support from RGU has been really, really good. I've actually used some of the like other support where, you know, I wasn't really going through a great time earlier in the module, and I used the support services, and they were second to none. The university are really understanding, and they're happy to extend deadlines or defer if you need to. Quite open that I had to defer for one of the assessments, and I've resat it, and it's all gone well. But you know, for RGU to be really, really like helpful, it was great for me and for my family, so it was good.
Fantastic. That's great. And that's a big thing about the course is the flexibility. The modules are 10 weeks long, and you have to get everything into that 10 weeks. But as Lee was saying earlier, you may only spend a couple of hours one week, but then there might be something that takes a little bit longer and you spend a bit more time on that. So the flexibility that we've built in, does that really help you guys?
Definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree there. My role at Aberdeen Football Club is quite flexible anyways, so I've really managed to blend the uni stuff right into that. And as long as there's talking earlier, and my boss is one of these people that care more about my output rather than what hours I'm spending doing what. So as long as the uni stuff's up to date and the work stuff is, he doesn't really mind how it is. I know that'll be different for some employers, but I've landed quite lucky there.
Yeah, and I think having that support within the business, that you've got this work to get through, but you've also got your own work to get through. So it's finding that balance, and time management is probably the key to that. And if you can get on top of that and get in control of that, then that allows you to control that a bit better.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good. How do you keep in touch with others in the course? You obviously, you've just said that you're only on campus 1 day per module. So how do you keep in touch with the guys the rest of the module?
For us, we've got a WhatsApp group for our specific course, and it's quite active. You know, we're all like chit-chatting on there, just like seeing how people are doing on their assessments, or if they're not understanding coursework, sometimes we'll kind of speak about that. So it's quite a good, again, resource to rely on, because other people might have more knowledge on the topic that you're doing, and you know, they can really help you out or get you understanding something that you may have not understood in the lecture.
Yeah, excellent.
I would just echo everything Matt said. We have a WhatsApp group as well. It's really handy for when it's coming up to that assessment deadline. Everyone's kind of supporting each other, letting them know how they're getting on. Built up some decent relationships within the class as well. It's great seeing them the on-campus days. We're actually all gutted that we missed the last two. We're hoping to have like a night out after one of them, because ours are on a Friday, which is quite lucky, but we've not managed to do it yet. So hopefully things are getting a bit back more to normality, and we'll manage to get that done soon.
Definitely. And I think that's one of the good things about the course, is that you're all in different industries, you're all in different sectors. So if you don't do something in your business, chances are somebody in your class does it, and then you can go and actually tap them up for their help and their support. So, or you might learn a way that you guys think you do it really well, but you actually go and speak to somebody in a different industry, they do it differently. Not necessarily that they do it worse or better, they just do it different. So it's actually learning from real life examples. So do you find those real life examples really help? Has it helped your business at all? Have you changed anything or noticed anything that you've brought back to the business?
Because I'm in the private sector and in sports as well, which is quite unique, because the business aim is not always to turn a profit, but to win matches. Mm-hmm. I find it really interesting hearing about like the public sector side of things. I've got a lot of NHS employees in my class, so it's great to hear from them. Some people from the council and some other private sector businesses like oil and gas as well. So it's really varied. So listening to how they tackle problems is always different, and a lot of time that's due to like funding and things. So it gives you an insight to that.
Good. Matt?
Yeah, I would agree with that. It is great to see how like the different companies that we deal with. For me, the coursework has changed how I do things. You know, there is quite a lot of we've just done like a professional development sort of module. That was like the long and thin module that we did this year, and I've taken so much for that into my role, where I'm like mentoring people or things like that. So there is some stuff that I've just taken straight off the bat that I'm using day to day, which is that's what we're wanting. It's ideal. It's ticking a box that we're wanting to.
Yeah, and I'm sure your businesses would say that too. If you're bringing in new ways of doing things and you're improving your style and your management and the way that you work with other people, I think that's something that is great that you can bring that back to your business. Fantastic. And what do you like about the course? What do you like most about the course?
Again, because I've came from doing like an open uni part-time style degree where you literally go home from work and then you study, and it's totally out of hours. The best thing for me is the fact that this is blended. So if I'm maybe quieter through the week, I can go away into a quiet room and get some studying done, and that leaves your social time and your personal life a good balance there as well. So I'd say for me, that's my favourite part.
Excellent.
My favourite is like the bite-sized chunks. Before I started the course, I'm always thinking going back to school, it's going to be like, just lots and lots of paperwork and lots of like, writing. But the course so far has, is bite-sized information, and it's like quite a lot of interactive things that you do. So, and that's how I best learn, is by doing, and, not too much information overload. That's what I really like about the course.
And what kind of assessments do you guys do? Because a lot of people are worried about exams and the fact that they don't go to university because they don't want to do exams. As far as I'm aware, there's not many exams in your course. Is that right?
Yeah, you're right. It depends on the module, but you normally have like generally 2 assessments, and one's a practical and one's sometimes a written. It just depends. But I've only ever had to do 2 essays so far in the first year, really. Which it was surprising to me. I thought I'd have to do a lot more, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, you've been there a wee bit longer, so what kinds of assessments have you had to go through over the last couple of years?
So year 1 was more like technical assessments, so more to do with the IT side of things. For me, it's always been, you've got a presentation to do and then like some sort of coursework assignment. So for example, in the databases module, that was to create a database and show off that you've done that.
Yeah.
Year 2 for me it's more of the management side of things. So I've been writing more reports. So it's like a learning curve to try and get yourself into that. So it changes per module, but yeah, it's always been the same for me, the presentation and a bit of coursework, whether that's a report or a technical assignment.
Okay. Is it what you expected?
I wasn't really sure what to expect because it came from like the part-time side of things as well. When it was talking about like, oh, it was you can study at work as well, it was almost like too good to be true, because you're thinking, oh wow, I'm gonna have all this time free, but it really has been like that. So it's probably been better than I expected. Like you say, I like doing exams and things, that's not really the way that I would like to learn. I like learning on the job. So having everything integrated in is a lot better. But yeah, so it's probably better than I expected.
Sure. Matt?
Yeah, I think I'd echo that. You know, I thought that I was going to have to spend a lot of time, you know, studying probably, but I can still get out and do the things that I want to do, you know. So for me, that's a tick in the box. Yeah, there's still time that I have to spend studying, but, you know, it's probably better than an open university course, I would have said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All different kinds of courses are absolutely available. I'll just put that out there. So what would you say to an employee or an employer thinking about doing a graduate apprenticeship? What would your little comment to them, what would that be? What would you say to them?
I would say definitely go for it, but take into consideration that it is a bit of commitment. It's not, I'm not sitting here saying it's just a jolly and that it's like an easy way to get a degree. You wouldn't want it to be, because when you get that bit of paper at the end that says honours degree, you want to have earned that. So yeah, it is challenging balancing your work life and your studying life and your personal life. It can be a challenge at times, but definitely go for it once you've completed it. I'm sure it's definitely going to be worth it. So yeah.
Fantastic, thank you. Matt?
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a consideration to do. I would, you know, encourage anyone to do it, and I would just, you know, stress that the employer is on board for the person that is going to be doing it. You know, their time will be affected at some way, shape, or form in the week, or, you know, my time's affected towards the end of the module when the assessments come, and I probably put more time in then, you know, so it's just about being, you know, realistic that that's probably going to happen. That would be the thing that I would say.
We've got I actually encouraged a friend of mine to do it as well. He's just finished his first year of business management, because there's not just the IT side of things available, there's other ones as well.
Yeah.
And then someone else that recently joined our organisation as a junior accounts assistant, she's about to begin the accountancy one as well. So our organisation's taken that on. And in fact, we've actually got someone else in the organisation doing the data science one as well. So
I hope you're getting commission.
I know. Well,
I get the commission.
I've just done a business ethics module, so.
But yeah, and I think that's the key thing, is that once we get in amongst a company and that company understands what the commitment is to do it, it's then opening up the doors to the other departments as to what there is. And so I'll just echo what Lee said there. We have 7 graduate apprenticeships offering at RGU. The IT management for business, which is the one the guys are doing. We've also got data science, as was mentioned. Accountancy is a 5-year course that gets them to a chartered accountant after 5 years. So that's a relatively new one, and we're the only university at the moment that's offering that course. We've also got 2 engineering courses in design and manufacture and instrumentation, measurement and control. and we've got the business management one, and construction and the built environment. There's always one that I leave behind. So yeah, construction and the built environment. So yeah, we've got 7 different courses, and all of them have spaces still available on them. So we're really keen to speak to everybody. But I managed to grab some IT guys today, so we thought we'd concentrate on these guys today. Have you guys got anything else that you want to add? Is there anything else you'd like, a little tip that you would like to give to the guys? Anybody thinking about doing it, or anything else you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I would say definitely go for it. But if you do, don't do as I've done on a couple of occasions where you don't keep up with the coursework. I've left it for a few weeks sometimes, and that catch up isn't worth the 3 weeks that you've had off. Just keep at it, keep attending the lectures, keep up with the coursework, and it'll really pay off, and you'll get that decent grade at the end.
Yeah, good.
The only thing I would say is, if you're in a similar situation that I'm in, where you've been working and you've got, experience behind your belt, this is a great way to kind of formalize the teaching and training that you've had over the years, and it's a great way to achieve your honours degree if that's what you're looking to do.
Totally agree.
Yeah, working and learning at the same time is something that we've really worked hard to get going, and I think you guys are both proof that you've managed to make it work, and that you're getting good grades because of it. So that's absolutely fantastic. So that just leaves me to thank you guys very much for coming on and having this chat with me today. I appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll be chatting to you guys again in the future.
No worries. Thanks, Fiona.
Thank you.
Bye now.